Welcome back, Commander. It's been a while.
They have abandoned us, my child. Brotherhood of Nod has been broken. You are the only one who has not forsaken me. At this very moment, McNeil and his GDI lackeys celebrate their victory in what they are calling the Second Tiberium War. They have the Tacitus, but no understanding of its true purpose. Our technology has failed us. Cabal is no more.
Listen to the sounds of your own extinction.
Though his memory lives on. Our enemies believe we have been defeated, and that I am no longer among the living. They are gravely mistaken. You and I are all that remain, but all that is necessary. For together we will raise a great army. Together we will show the world's downtrodden who the real enemy is. GDI promises them prosperity, but in the slums of Rio, the homeless and hungry know the truth. They have been forgotten. They have nothing but their anger. We will take that spark and start a fire which will become a great conflagration. Peace through power.
Establishing video uplink.
Rio is rife with the angry, the disenfranchised. A powder keg of rebellion ready to ignite. Soon, the flames of insurrection shall flicker and rise.
So it's been a moment.
Destroy the GDI administration centers and spark rebellion in the city.
And we have many objectives to complete.
I got something for him. Over there.
New bonus objective.
This bike's ready.
Training.
Sadly, there's some positives and negatives to the campaign that we're going to be playing through.
Complete.
The first you'll notice is
No power.
this is the Rio Insurrection, which was mentioned, I believe, at the start of the campaign, the Nod campaign, for the original Command & Conquer 3. But we don't really get much of a connection outside of KANE.
Building.
It kind of goes on to show how there's going to be a few holes in the overall production quality, I guess, if we want to call it that. As with most first missions in a campaign, it's a rather simple jaunt,
Where they at?
although it has at least one extra stage to it, as we can see through the minimap. Well, once I get power back.
Not so tough now, are you?
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here.
If anything, the campaign is kind of weird in how it's a mix between some easy levels and some really complicated ones that,
Units lost.
frankly, maybe it's the balance patches that were really throwing me for a loop, but it's kind of just painful.
There.
May I assist you? I can help you.
There's a few less instructions on how to get some of the intel as well, which can be a little annoying point.
Enemy units sighted. Will be captured. Reinforcements have arrived.
Raider here. Let's go find him. Going. Mow him down. They won't be time for a harvest.
You start with a decent number of units to begin with. Obviously, you're going to want to supplement this, as with any other mission. There's such a limited pool of things you can buy that there's not really much you can do in the way of selection. Get odd attack bikes, get some buggies. If you can, supplement with some infantry, but I tend to leave them behind. One, because they're slow and the map is, while not huge, it's still big. And they're just not as effective. I think one of the main reasons I even have infantry at this point is because, well, the defensive cannons are just obviously going to do a little bit more damage to vehicles, so better to have them and soak up some damage. It should be noted that there's at least one way to kind of somewhat cheese this mission. The Tiberium regrows at a certain rate. There's a number of spikes on the map that you can capture. And unless you go and capture or destroy all of the necessary buildings, you don't really have anything to worry about. You can kind of just keep building without a population cap. You can fill the map with units if you really wanted to, if you wanted to take it that far. I'm sure maybe Let's Game It Out could do an episode on that, but otherwise, yeah, just make sure that you have enough forces and that you have enough defenses, and, you know, set yourself up.
Let's go on a raid.
I'm not quite sure why Orcas were shooting their own building, but whatever helps.
Unrest, discontent. This is the very lifeblood of Nod. To stoke such rebellion is to strip GDI of their popular support, to weaken the very foundations of their supposed mandate. Rio shall be purified in the flames of rebellion.
New bonus objective.
This bike's ready.
There's also not really anything gained from the radio stations.
Reinforcements have arrived. Objective complete.
They won't keep up.
Establishing video uplink.
Who dares challenge our supremacy? The Brotherhood is dead, rotting with the heretic KANE. We are the true heirs of Nod, as it is written. Repent! Withdraw!
They're attacking the radio station!
Or join your fool prophet in oblivion.
Establishing video uplink.
And so, as Rio burns, they crawl from the woodwork, the splintered factions, the heretics, the unbelievers divide, weak. We shall bring them unity.
They're attacking the radio
Unity in
station!
the arms of the Brotherhood, or unity in death?
Building. Incoming transmission. This splinter faction dares oppose KANE. Eliminate them.
They're attacking the radio station!
Training.
So it doesn't seem like you have to actually save all of the radio stations. I believe as long as you have one, you should be fine. And because they exert some amount of area of control, you should absolutely build defenses there. Had I known, I would have done that. But I didn't. So instead, we're going to lose a bit of our secondaries and have to deal with a lot of forces that just suddenly come out of nowhere and just flank your base pretty efficiently.
Enemy base sighted. Insufficient funds.
Ready to go!
Enemy units sighted.
Scorpion's ready!
As you can imagine, it's a bit much to go about on your first map, on the first mission. Again, expansion, so you should know stuff about the game and so on. However, by this point, if you're starting to lose a lot of units, your base just isn't set up initially to really deal well with the low income that you have. So losing units is just especially painful.
The Scorpion's ready. Scorpion tank. Tank
Our
division.
base is under attack.
And since the AI gets to pump out a bunch of free units for an endless supply, you kind of have a lot to deal with. Base defenses can only damage units oh so quickly. Your harvesters are immediately going to come under attack, whether it's by rocket troopers or attack bikes. And that's not counting the radio stations as well. And speaking of the radio stations, it's kind of strange. I don't remember them ever doing anything in prior patches or in the last time I ever played this, which was admittedly a long time ago. But they don't generate new units, they don't give you anything, so spending the $2,000 on engineers and subsequent defenses just kind of seems like a bit of a waste. I don't really know what the point is. So yeah, essentially the point is you want to use the signature scan so that you can reveal where power plants are. Destroying the power plants reveals them because they no longer have the cloaking generators to use. But you can also just drive units over into the base. The disruption towers aren't cloaked themselves, so they're kind of worthless. It's kind of why I don't ever really bother with them myself. You just destroy the generator and you're good. It helps prevent, say, first strike ability against certain buildings, I guess? Sure. But that's such a limited thing that I don't really care for it. Especially when it sucks power and costs money, so. But yeah, ultimately what you want to do is build up enough forces. You go with your Scorpion tanks because that's just going to be your best unit this game. By the time you don't have to deal with much in the way of like rocket infantry, your Scorpion tanks are fine. Destroy buildings and then work on the main base. There's literally no reason to ever go for the main base if the two sides are still going for you. They just spawn too many units too quickly.
What's the plan?
Enemy units sighted.
We're ready. What's the plan?
Our base is under attack. Enemy base.
And in case you thought that destroying the left side base would give you some sort of reprieve on that side, you'd be sadly mistaken. Units will still drive all the way down and follow some waypoints to attack you, or the radio tower on the southwest corner.
Get out there. This bike's ready. In position. Scorpion this bike's ready. What's the plan? We're ready. We will not be overpowered. What's the plan? This bike's
Enemy
ready.
base sighted.
Received.
Our base is under attack.
Closing in.
Enemy units sighted.
Sadly, because of the constant attacks, I always have to go look to make sure that I'm not suddenly being, rushed by like a billion tanks.
Bike's ready.
It's also, going back to the cutscene, it should be pointed out that the game points out that it's 2034, and according to at least one of the official wikis, the Second Tiberium War only ended in 2030. Or more specifically, December 2030. I don't know if that's a hard line taken from a manual or a book somewhere. I've had a busy couple months, unfortunately. Hence, when this video actually gets recorded and goes up. So, did KANE just wait 4 years or 3.5 years, whatever, to start this insurrection? Probably. It doesn't seem unlikely, but it is kind of funny that, again, he brings up the fact that, they're sadly mistaken for believing I'm dead. It'd be the second time, at least. So, you know, you're developing a pattern, my guy. If you're curious, that I believe is like a hospital or something, but I don't think capturing actually does anything. I'd have to go through the map and see if there's any special attribute, but by the time we got to generals, looking at the maps just is a lot more of an involved process, and an annoying one at that. So maybe I'll check them out. Who knows?
Let's get out there. We have them. We got this handled.
Technically, these buses, I could probably just not even do anything to them. I'm not personally a fan of the unit myself. We'll get more into it when it actually becomes one we can buy, but the Reckoner kind of just sucks.
Not backing down. Let's take them all. They're nothing.
For now, though, there's not much left. Destroy the production buildings, destroy the construction yard, and you're good. You could probably bum rush maybe some engineers or something in a vehicle, or I don't know. You could probably do something to make this faster, but...
Brother. Friend. I beseech you, cease your assault. We lay our weapons at your feet and swear fidelity in the name of KANE, the one true prophet. I beg you, spare our lives.
Objective complete.
Scorpion tank.
Intelligence data updated.
Blow them open.
Unit promoted.
Nah, we're not going to spare anybody.
Objective complete.
Although I honestly don't know why they don't just change color or faction or something.
Mission accomplished.
Oh well.